And welcome to an exclusive episode of Experience Exzneair. I'm your host, Exzneair Williams, and today we are talking about the husband, the hurt, and the healing. Now, I am live, y'all, from the Garden of Reading. This is my first time doing a live exclusive episode. So if you down for the get down and you really want to see this live, please come and join us right now. We are off of 8601 East 10th Street, which is 10th and Post, here in the city of Indianapolis, Indiana. But we about to dive into some things. Now, if you've been rocking with me since the beginning, episode 4, Unapologetically You with Anna Hall, was thebomb.com. I'm still getting phone calls about that episode and the way that she came on talking about love, lessons, and letting go. But I got her other half here today. Baby, he reached out to me last night and said, hey, I want to speak my truth. I want to tell my story. So I was like, okay, when we going to do this? They was like, we're going to do it tomorrow. So here we are live in the garden getting down. Now, with all jokes aside, y'all, keep pressing and remember that healing lives in places that people don't even talk about. Okay? So if you're ready for this episode, the husband, the hurt, and the healing, let's go ahead and dive right on into it. So what it do?
What's up?
What up, though, Kenny?
What's up with you?
I am well. The first thing I want to know is, I know you've lived in Arizona for a while.
Mm-hmm.
There's two things I want to know about Arizona. One, the food.
Food sucks.
Okay.
If you're not into Mexican spicy, because that's all they think about. There's no soul food restaurants that's really that good. White Castle sucks.
Oh.
Chicken sucks.
Oh. No gas station chicken? Dang.
Pick and choose.
Okay. Okay. And now, is it true that you can take an egg?
Yes.
And fry it?
Biscuits.
Biscuits?
Yeah. Take you some biscuits, put them in your car. I thought it was a lie. It's true.
So it's that hot?
It's that hot.
So I can just, on my way to work, I can make some buttermade biscuits. Have them nice and buttered, and then have my coworker get some grits.
It's that hot.
Shut
It's that.
up.
I thought it was all a lie. I'm like, that's right. Arizona, you never felt that kind of heat before.
Okay.
So yeah, it's all true.
Okay, I am so super excited. Well, thank you for wanting to be a guest on the show. It's super exciting. First of all, it's super exciting to actually be in this, in the garden, really doing this interview. I want to know. Let's just talk about it. I like to dig right deep on into it. We ain't paper chasing.
Okay.
How did you and Miss Anna meet?
We met on Facebook.
Okay.
It was a guy named Brian Lawson. Me and him grew up together. We used to play ball together, whatever. And I started off at Republic Services.
Okay.
And then I ended up going to waste management, you know. And so we was just talking about who's the better dude, whatever. And he was talking crazy, and then Anna chimed in and was like, you know, defending me or whatever. And the rest was history.
Okay. Besides her getting into the comments and defending you, what drew you to her?
Just her being a lady. You know what I'm saying? Like, growing up, I was into the ratchet girls. You know, I was into that drama, and I was into all that craziness. You know what I'm saying? And so we talked, and we had a really good conversation. It wasn't nothing scripted. It was just good conversation. And then when we met face to face, I said, oh, okay, she's more than just pretty. You know, we just hit it off.
I love it. I love it. Okay. So you say like Miss Anna's like a girly girl. Just go ahead and say she bougie.
She's bougie, but she's also...
And I love her bouginess because she has like a little cute heart frying pan, a little heart bowl that she eats out. I just love it. She makes me want to go and get me a heart bowl, but then I ain't gonna know what to do with it. And I'm gonna be mad because the casserole is shaped like a heart, and I'm trying to stir it up in the heart pot. But you know, Miss Anna can do that, and that's one thing that I love about her. I love that she can say that she's so-called bougie, but she's really not. She's just down to earth. She's really herself. So for those who are listening, Miss Anna's not bougie. Miss Anna's not bougie. She's a bougie gato. Okay, because she will choke you up if she got to. Period.
That's true.
What did you love most about the relationship in the beginning when you first met? We're not talking about the marriage. We're still in the dating phase.
The difference, the friendship.
The friendship. Okay.
You know, when you dating somebody, at least back then, it was all about physical.
Okay.
You know,
Now, when you say back then,
before her, like when I started dating other women.
okay.
And then
So
when
you mean like back in the day,
back in
before
the
I was
day.
born.
Okay.
At 81.
I guess I'm just 51, so I ain't that much of.
I mean, yes, you are.
Okay, I am older.
When I was boiling in the womb, you was what?
Ain't no tell.
About to graduate, probably.
Ain't no tell.
Okay, we just trying to do the math right.
But
Okay.
yeah, the friendship. The
Okay.
friendship was what drew me in because, you know, if you can have conversations for hours, we used to have conversations for hours, and I look up and it's 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, oh shit, I gotta get home. You know what I'm saying? But that was it. The friendship was the best part of it.
And I love her conversation.
Yeah.
I think that we can start off with one topic, go into the next without even realizing we didn't even finish what we was talking about the first conversation. So like all relationships, this is like I said before the marriage, all relationships we go through that honeymoon stage, that stage where everything is good and everything is happy, we loving it, we on the phone, you hang up, no, you hang up,
Yeah.
oh yes. When did things begin to like shift in the relationship?
Anna works at her own pace.
Okay.
You're not gonna rush her. You're not gonna push her. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it was like when I met her and spent a little time with her, and we was both in messed up situations. You know what I'm saying? I kind of like seen her. I was like, I want you. You know, and she's like, look, wait. You know, you got your situation. I got my situation, and she had her kids was young at the time. You know what I mean? So, you know, we decided I went and got my own place and tried to go back to my ex after my lease was up. That was a disaster. That didn't last no but a couple of months. So I ended up, you know, getting another place, and we did the dating thing, and she deboed me. She straight deboed me. She's like, look here.
She rode up on the bike?
She rode up on me. You know,
Dang.
she rode up on me. She made sure there wasn't nobody else sniffing around.
She basically was like, what you got on my 40?
That's it. Straight up depot. Straight up depot. I mean, I was like, one night I had pulled up at home, messed up, raining, and I'm walking up my stairs and she's right behind me. I was hoping another beat was. I'm like,
Okay.
How you getting the gate? Like, what the hell's going on here? Like, crazy. Just
Anna was getting through that gate, baby.
yeah, she was gonna jump the gate or run through it. So that right there, I'm like, okay. And then we ended up moving in together. You know, after my lease was up, we ended up moving in together.
Okay.
So that was the beginning. And I think we was together probably maybe a year
Okay.
before look, I can't be doing this shacking up shit. You know,
Okay.
there's no shacking up. Because she's
Okay.
a wife material. I don't care if you didn't want to get married. But we're not gonna be together just shacking up.
Right. Now, this is the question that everybody want to know. I don't even have this question wrote down, but
Okay.
you know, we all want to know how long it takes a man before he decides that, hey, you know, this is my wife. This is who I'm going to commit to. Because a lot of times, us women, especially me, who's been in crazy relationships and situationships, we say, okay, within 6 months or within a year. And sometimes you don't want to put a time limit on things,
Exactly.
especially how you feel or your love. But when does a man really know?
A man knows when he knows. I mean, they can sit up there and put a time limit on whatever. That's what kills me about certain guys when they say, okay, we've been engaged for 3 years. Why does it take that long? I'm a trainer, so I train in my job. I'm a driver trainer, so I tell guys, you know, if you want to do this job, the first 10 minutes you in this truck. I'm not saying it's going to take 10 minutes to know if you're going to marry this woman, but if you with her and you spending time with her in the first few months, you know in your head, you might not ask her, but you know in your head you're going to marry her. You already know what kind of woman she is. You know what I'm saying? So to me, it shouldn't take 6 months to a year. You should already know, especially if you have that type of mindset, this is going to be my wife. I knew she was going to be my wife. Either that or I'm moving. I wasn't planning on staying in here.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I was planning on moving in 2010.
Okay.
But I had to give her time because she was just coming out of a situation, I was coming out of a situation, and we were still getting to know each other.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't trying to push her, but at the end of the day, this is what my intentions were.
Okay. So you already knew.
I already knew.
So men be playing games.
Well,
most men. Okay. We ain't gonna say all men, y'all. For the ones who are listening, we ain't gonna say all men. We're just gonna say most men. Okay. So how long did you guys date before you officially actually proposed to her?
I want to say a year. It might have been a year. I don't think it was that long. But
Wasn't that long?
I don't think it was that long.
Okay. All right. So, what were some of the biggest challenges that you guys faced as a couple? Like, when you were like now you're married. Like we're officially.
Okay.
I do.
Anna.
I'm married now.
Yeah. Anna she's a control freak. Okay. She has to control narratives. I'm an alpha. She's an alpha. So we have to learn each other. Like, you have to learn when to lead and when to step back. You know what I'm saying? And that was our biggest challenge in the beginning. It was a huge challenge because, you know, even though I'm her husband, she's never had a man to protect her or took the lead. You know, she always made suggestions. She had this pink belt with all her tools on the damn thing, you know, hammer and shit. So she was always, in any relationship, she was always taking that lead, you know what I mean? So it took her a while to, like, okay, maybe I can be a passenger, for instance. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I can let him do his thing. You know what I'm saying? So that, to me, that was the biggest challenge.
Wow. So do you think that that's a lot of issues of a lot of women now? Like in 2025?
I think that's a big issue because if you look, even before the dating thing, go back to women raising their kids by themselves.
Okay.
If you're a single mom and you're trying to raise a boy and you're trying to put him in sports, you know, you learning on the fly, especially if you're a girl, you ain't into sports. But you're trying to learn sports because your son is in sports. You're trying to learn that, you're trying to learn the language, learn the lingo, and you're so busy, you know, trying to do that. And now, what? You just did, you know, it's, I'm not going to say the world's full of mama's boys, but because that woman has taken on them wearing them two hats, it's hard for her to let go.
Yeah.
It's hard. I mean, that's not the woman's fault. You know, a lot falls on us men for not stepping up. You know, you have these kids, you're not stepping up. But then you got to look at the situation. If this man's working 2 and 3 jobs, he don't really have a lot of time to be there for the kid. You know what I'm saying? But if he's just a deadbeat and she's wearing 2 hats, you know, she's not going to sit up there and fail her kid.
Right.
She's going to do what it takes to raise her son. So on that aspect, that trickles down to when she gets in a relationship. That's all she knows.
Now, I like how you said that because as a single mom, as a single mom, you know, for those who are watching, I feel like the dominant comes into play because I don't feel like I'm catered or cared for. I feel like a lot of men nowadays don't protect us. Like when you watch like the older movies, you see the men opening their car doors, you see the men going to work, the woman stays at home. She's in her femininity when she, not saying that we're not going to work, because we're going to do that.
Right.
But when we feel like we have to control everything from the bills to what happens at the house to, okay, the pipe's done busted, now I got to fix it. So like we feel that we don't have that protection.
True.
And I'm not saying that it's all men. I thank God for blessing me with somebody soon to come into my life. He ain't here, y'all, but I'm learning how to speak affirmations. When my man gets here, he ain't gonna play no games about me.
I got you.
But I also still want to come out of that zone where I allow a man to be a man. But how do you allow a man to be a man if you've never experienced what a real man is?
That's where the struggle's at. That's where, you know, the time y'all spend together. Conversation. Have a conversation. You know, we had lots of conversation. This is what the relationship was built on. We didn't forget our friendship part because we was married. Because most people do. Like, you get married and you forget that y'all still best friends. Y'all stop having conversation. Y'all just stop everything. It's just like, okay, we're robots. This is how marriage. Your marriage is the way you want your marriage. You don't have to look at TV and be like, oh damn, we're married now. We're not gonna have sex. We're not gonna talk. We're not gonna do date night. No, we did.
I know that's a lie because I'm not about to sit up with you and not have no sex, and I'm not about to sit up with you and not talk to you.
Yeah,
I just be thinking that sometimes they over exaggerate or overdo it when it comes to how marriages are supposed to be.
True.
Now, you mentioned a few times about how Miss Anna was controlling.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know this prior before before you proposed to her? Because I don't think that this is something that just popped up,
No,
Kenny.
listen.
What we talking?
Listen. I know what kind of man I am. Okay. I might not be the man. Back then I was younger. I mean, I'm not the man I am now. But I know what kind of man I was. Like at the time, I was like, look, I got this. You straight,
Okay.
And I seen it, so I'm like, maybe I lead by example. I'm not a verbal guy. I lead by example. So maybe if she see it, she'll loosen up. And it took forever. I'm like, God, dog, like when the hell is she gonna loosen up and calm down a little bit? All the time we get into a little squirt and it just friendly. She'll ball a little fist up. I'm like, look, we ain't doing that today. Unball them damn fists. Just always ready all the damn time. I'm like, calm down, we straight, we good. And eventually she loosened up. But yeah, I seen it. But I'm thinking the more time we spend together, she'll loosen up. It took forever, but she loosened up eventually.
Okay. Now looking back on your marriage, is there anything that you wish you would have said or done differently?
Of course. I mean, I wish I would have told her some things in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? I wish I would have took her advice and got counseling. You know what I'm saying? Therapy, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I wish I'd have done that because we had a great marriage. To me, we had a great marriage. We had fun together. We talked. We traveled. We lived good. We ate good.
And I don't think that that's undeniable. Because episode 4 of Experience Exzneair, if you have not watched it, go back. Log on to YouTube, Experience Exzneair podcast. Please go back, y'all, to episode 4 because Miss Anna talks about that marriage.
Yeah.
She loved you, baby. Yeah. I was like, okay, Kenny. Yeah. Kenny G. I don't know if you got a saxophone. You play saxophone?
Not at all.
Dang, Kenny, you ain't playing no instruments?
Not at all.
Okay, so I'm not saying we all want to know because some people may know that, because we're live, so some people may know the story. But what was the breaking point in the marriage? Where did everything begin to just unravel?
It wasn't the marriage.
Okay.
It was not the marriage. It was more me being a man that let my past dictate what was going on in front of me. You know what I'm saying? As far as I'm at my job, I've been at my job almost 20 years.
Okay.
And being here in Indiana, it just flatlined because, I do drive a trash truck. It's great money in it, but I wanted something more. You living in Indiana and you working around a whole bunch of, people that's not you, not your color. They see you good at something, they say, okay, we're just gonna leave them on the shelf. This is what you're good at. You're not good at this. But then when you see other people coming from different states doing this, doing that, you're like, wait a minute, I can do this way better. And before I met her, I had children.
Okay.
So you're looking at a man who's never had a full paycheck since I was 17, 18 years old. I have not seen a full paycheck from that age to 47 when I finally finished paying child support. So in the episode she said I was chasing money. It wasn't the fact that I was chasing money. If you grew up with things, materialistic things, okay, when you get older it don't faze you that much. But someone who struggled their whole life, my job now, I'm a husband, but my job is to take care of my kids. I might not see my kids, but my job is to make sure that, hey, I got to financially make sure they're straight. I have to. Now I'm looking at, okay, I have a certain amount of years I still have to work before I decide to retire, but I have to figure this out. I can't, what I'm doing here in Indiana, it's not working for me. I got to get out of here. And yes, I decided to move to Phoenix where the money was greater, and it allowed me to live a life that I never ever was able to live here. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, in a sense, I did chase the dollar, but then again, Arizona, being there for the last 4 years, has bettered me as a man. Period. Because I'm able to see certain things I wouldn't have seen when I was living here.
I say I like Indiana. I like Indianapolis as a city, but I do feel like you can drown here.
You can.
If you do not have a goal, a vision. And I lived in Atlanta, Detroit, and I can honestly say that living in different places or seeing different things, how they are as a culture, it could be like, yeah, Indiana ain't it. So I can understand that. Like, I can understand that. Was your passion always to move out of the city, even while you were married?
Yes.
Okay, so this was always just something that you wanted to do.
It was always because I felt like I needed a fresh start for me, and if I can transfer and still work for the same company and make more money, shit, that's a win-win for everybody.
Okay, now was you and Miss Anna, when you all decided that you were going to get a divorce, was that like a mutual decision, or was it Kenny that made the decision that this is what we gonna do?
No, I would have never divorced her.
Okay.
I would have never divorced her. It was a thing where I went out there to visit. I went on vacation in December of 2020, and it was nice. The weather was perfect, and you go have conversation. So I go to this place, have a conversation with these guys, and they drew this crazy number out there. I'm like, I would never make that in Indiana. Never, not in a million years would I make that. So I'm thinking about what I can do. Like if she came, she ain't got to work. If she want to go back to school, I got us. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't thinking about what she had going on outside of her. She got a son in college. She got a daughter who just got out of school. She got a mom here. She got her brother. She got her friends. She's got her job. She got a career here. So I'm not gonna push you. I'm not gonna push you because I already know that's a no-win situation on my side. So when I just came back from vacation and told her I was leaving, it was just like 30 days later, I had to pack up and move to Arizona. It was no time in between. So a couple of weeks in January, I'm boxing my stuff up. I'm scheduling movers. I got on the road 24 hours. I'm back in Arizona.
Wow.
And it wasn't like, she's not going to stay married to no man 1,700 miles away. And I don't blame her. You know what I'm saying? I don't blame her. She had to do what she had to do. So
now, repeat that one more time.
What?
What you just said about the 1,700 miles.
She wasn't going to deal with a man 1,700 miles away.
Okay, deal love. You said love. So let me tell you something. When a woman loves a man, we love you whether you're 1,700 miles away, 3,000 miles away. You could have been in Hong Kong.
Okay.
We're still going to love you. I think that maybe it was just something that Miss Anna just was afraid to do. Maybe it was fear. Maybe it was coming too fast.
Yeah.
I do believe that, and I've been married before. I was young, so I don't know, because that whole marriage was a story. But I think sometimes we get a little bit selfish instead of thinking about the whole unit. We think selfishly about our wants and our desires and our needs, not taking into consideration everything. So just me, like being the hustler that I am, if I see a number and you offer me this, I'm out. Peace.
Yeah.
I'm probably not even going to think about it or give it a second thought, especially if I haven't made that much money. But like now that I have a chance to kind of like stop, pause, reflect, I'm probably going to say, this is a great offer. Let me sit on it for a couple of days and I'll get back with you. And that would have gave me an opportunity to kind of come back, trying to, test the waters to see where my husband's thoughts lie about us moving out of state. And if it wasn't a good decision, maybe I could have negotiated a little bit, like agree to disagree. Like, hey, I'm just gonna go stack this bread real quick. I'm still gonna be waiting.
Right.
But I know that wasn't.
No, not at all.
That was not the case. So do you feel like the divorce was handled respectfully?
No.
Okay, elaborate.
I feel like it was a lot of anger. It was anger on her part, and I understand. I do understand now. I understand.
Okay.
4 years later, but I felt like, you know, it should have been a discussion, and she would always say, "Well, you should discuss before you move to Arizona." And I'm like, "This has always been my plan." You know, yes, it was messed up how I did it that fast, but the divorce part, it hit me to the point where I'm like, "What the hell? Like, no, we ain't doing it." It was her decision. She wanted the divorce, I didn't. So, you know, I had to eat. I got to eat it. I had to eat it.
4 years.
Mm-hmm.
So what was you doing mentally in these 4 years for Kenny mentally?
Jesus. What? Outside of learning the new state and learning the new hours, because I was working 70 hours a week out there. And, you know, you making this money and it's like, it's burning through your pockets because you ain't never seen it. I ain't never seen a whole check.
You know, it's so funny you say burning through your pockets. I've been watching BMF on Stars.
Yeah.
I'm way off. I know BMF came out a long time ago.
Right.
But baby, that was some hustlers.
Yeah.
So you was just out there just making money.
I was making money.
Had your gold chains.
I was just doing dumb stuff because I could.
Gotcha.
You know, I could. And to keep my mind off her and keep my mind off my marriage, I would date women. I was dating women like crazy. And that was just me trying to stay busy. I didn't want to stop. I didn't want to sit back and think about what the hell did I just do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to play, damn, I fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Because you can date a million women. You can, and I don't care what color. I've dated every type of woman, but it's always that one. I would take that one over that 100 any day. You know what I'm saying?
I know that's my girl, Anna. You better do it. I'm gonna turn back around. Okay, so anyways, when you talk about, you said you was doing dumb stuff. 4 years. Did you ever make it back to Indiana to see Miss Anna?
I did.
Okay,
I did.
What year was that?
It was 2023. I moved back in January 2023.
Okay, and how was that?
I shouldn't have done it. And I'm going to tell you why.
Okay.
I did it because I really did miss her. You know what I'm saying?
Of course you did.
But my heart is never here. It wasn't here. You know what I'm saying? I felt like
Your heart was with her.
it was definitely with her. But I go from making a certain amount of money in Arizona, and I take a $10, $11 pay cut coming back here to do the same job. And then I'm seeing how they catering to these white guys, and I'm like, I work circles around you. And it was just the anger, and I'm like, I left all my shit there to come back to this BS, you know, and the weather, and I was furious. So I did everything I could in 6 months I was there to get back. And then once again, it was like, okay, I left her in limbo because it's like, damn, you really are chasing the dollar. And I'm like, you don't understand. Like, I've invested so much time with this company, and I'm definitely not going to play second fiddle. It's like if you're going out with a dude and he's got another, you ain't playing second fiddle. I wasn't playing second fiddle to none of these dudes here. When I'm in Arizona, I don't play second fiddle. I am that guy. And you're going to pay me as such, and they pay me for that. You're not going to sit up and put these guys in front of me like they better than they, because they not, and you know they not. And so 6 months, I was back in Arizona, back in Phoenix. I couldn't do it.
You said this was
2023.
Okay. What brought you back?
I'm here. I'm still living in Phoenix. I'm here on vacation.
So you're just here on vacation?
Yes,
Okay.
I'm going back to Phoenix.
How do you feel even being back in the city?
The city has grown a lot, and seeing her, seeing my dad, seeing my people. I live a good life in Phoenix, but it's nothing without family.
Of Of course.
You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
So being around my family.
You ain't getting no soul food either, so I know it ain't nothing without family.
Oh, it's nothing.
We're gonna have to wrap you up to a plate before you leave.
And give me some longs too.
Okay, we got to wrap the donuts up, get them through. Did you drive?
No, I flew.
Okay, we're gonna have to get them through TSA.
Yeah, I flew.
Okay.
Just being around my people and having a understanding, I'm good where I'm at on that financial aspect.
Okay.
But now, 51, I don't have too much long to work.
Okay.
And I feel like I've missed so much time with my people being out there working the hours I work.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's time for a change. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's trying to do something on my own. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I am up there in age, but I don't have the overhead I had before I left out of here. I was like, shit, I gotta pay this, I gotta pay that, and now I'm straight. So now I'm like, damn, do I really need to work 70 hours a week? Do I need really being 1,700 miles away from my people? Mm-hmm. So when I get back tomorrow, I have a lot of thinking to do. I have a lot of planning, and I have so much. I have a little time to do it because I feel like the angle that I'm taking now, maybe this is the best time to come back and start something different, especially while the city's growing crazy. It's money to be made. It might be not be Arizona money, but it's money to be made here.
It is. You just gotta figure it out.
Yeah, I gotta figure that part out.
So y'all called me last night
Mm-hmm.
after midnight.
Yes.
Knowing I go to bed at dark 30, but it was late.
Yeah.
Now, after watching the episode, what were your honest thoughts of that episode?
Her just being honest, she is unapologetic. And she's gonna keep it real. She's a straight shooter. So it wasn't no animosity. Oh, blah. You know what I'm saying? It was just like I got to put myself out there. That's her story. Mm-hmm. Now let me tell mine. You know what I'm saying? So it's not. It wasn't about love. It wasn't about the marriage. That was the greatest part of everything. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, me as a manly man, where the camera at? Me as a manly man, I'm never gonna live off my woman. I'm never gonna have her. If the mortgage is due to him, babe, I'm $200, $300 short on the mortgage. Mm-hmm. That was never the issue, but I never wanted to get to that point. If I can go out here and make way more money to cover everything, that's what I was gonna do. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know.
Okay, so a lot of the conversation that had your name involved in it when you were watching that episode, how'd that make you feel? Like listening to how she felt?
At the time, I think we was on radio silence. Okay. So we wasn't really communicating that much. Like, we've always kept our friendship, you know what I'm saying, even after the divorce or whatever. But I had to figure it out because I'm like, we can't continue to keep doing that back and forth shit. You know what I'm saying? As far as, am I gonna come back? The up and down shit. So I had to eliminate it. So I probably cut the communication off. And shit, like, damn, now I gotta figure this shit out. Now I gotta worry about me. I can't worry about this nigga. I gotta worry about me. And listening to the podcast was like, it's one thing hearing her on the phone with FaceTime, but seeing it on the podcast and seeing how hurt she was, I was like, oh shit. That's fucked up. That's fucked up that she's been through that and she's a busybody. So I'm out here chasing girls and working and she's doing all these projects and creating this and creating that and mentoring and she's doing all this shit and nobody really knows her struggle because she's always wearing a mask. And I was and I was fucked up by it. When I'm watching it and I kind of got messed up by it. Like, oh shit, I did that. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. So are there any things that you agree with that Miss Anna said, or anything that you want to clear up?
I think as far as the mommy issues, let's clear that up. Let's talk about that.
Okay.
Let's talk about that. And this is some deep shit here. This is something that I really have fought over the years. I don't have the greatest relationship with my mom. I never had.
Okay.
When I was 12, my mom did something that no parent should ever do with their kids, whatever. And my siblings never knew. My dad never knew. Nobody never knew. You know what I'm saying? And that kind of made me socially awkward.
Okay.
So when I hear all these women, even back then I hear about them always putting a mother on a pedestal and dogging a dad out. I'm like, that's BS. Like, every dad is not bad and every mom is not bad, but every mom is not good. You know what I'm saying? And I would never dog her out, because to me, what she went through was a sickness.
Okay.
Is a sickness. But it made me so socially awkward where I just kept a bubble around her. So, you know, when I got into girls, I got into girls real early. When you're having kids early, and you're not thinking about love, you don't know what love is. Like, what the fuck is love? Is, when I'm beating it down. That's what I'm thinking. And it took forever. It took a while. It took me meeting her to actually know what it was, and even being in a marriage, I didn't know. I had no idea what love was. I'm thinking, one day it's something. The other shoe gonna drop. You know what I mean? So, my relationship with my kids is kind of messed up, because I feel like I've always stayed busy. I've always stayed away. I didn't want to get close. And they always say, if this happens to this person, it's a trickle effect. And I call BS on that. I call BS on that, because in our community, as black folks, if something happens in our family, they try to keep it on the low. Oh, shut up, everybody don't even know our business. And I heard about what happened to my mom when she was little.
Okay.
I heard about that. And so I didn't have any kind of interest dealing with my mom. And then when that happened to me, I'm like, I'll be damned if it happened to my children. I'll be damned. So I call BS on that. That's a choice that you made. That ain't no damn, it ain't hereditary. That's not no hereditary shit. That's a sickness. That's what you choose to do. And, she would always tell me, just have a conversation with her. And everybody tries to force a relationship with her. My stepfather did. And just recently, my sister invited her to breakfast today. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. And it's awkward for her to have a conversation with me. She could barely look me in the face. You know what I'm saying? I don't hold no animosity. I just, I pray that she lives a long life. I pray that she does great. But at the end of the day, my mommy issue is my trust issue. And I don't trust a lot of people. I've never trusted a lot of people. I trust 2 people in my life. You know what I'm saying? And them the people that's, you have my codes to everything and have everything. And the only 2 people I trust. So, I'm working on that.
Okay.
I'm working on that. It's something that I pray about every day. I'm getting better. I mean, I did meet with my mom today for lunch. For breakfast. So, I'm getting better at having small conversations. But it's going to take a while.
Okay. I think it's pretty dope how men open up about their mental health issues and about issues that they dealt with in their past or in their childhood. So I commend you for opening up to that and being open to even share it with strangers that are listening. Because I really think that's, like, I almost kind of got a little emotional a little bit, only because you don't hear a lot of men opening up about it. And I really honestly think that it's no set time on your healing. And I think that the term mommy issues is just because that's how we view it.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't really even think that it's talked about enough. And a lot of men don't understand that there are hurts and pains that they dealt with in their childhood that they have to get out.
Yeah.
Because once you hold them in, your parent, it could be your mom or your dad, they could be in a different place.
Yeah.
And you're still hurting even in your 50s about something that happened when you were younger. And I really feel like a lot of parents, we just were taught. They didn't love us. We didn't know what love was. We didn't get love. Because I felt the same way when you said, well, what's love?
Mm-hmm.
What's love?
True.
It's like, okay, now I'm supposed to just love a person. What am I supposed to do? Like, I remember even having kids. It took me a minute to even hug my kids. Because being able to express that love, it wasn't expressed to me.
Exactly.
So if your mom isn't hugging you, what makes you think you're going to hug your kid? Like, what do you want?
Yeah.
You know, that's how I felt. But then after a while, it was like, I'm going to hug my kids. I'm going to hug my kids. I'm going to love my kids. I'm going to be all over my kids' faces. It makes a difference.
Yeah.
It makes a difference when you watch them grow. So I am, like I said, I commend you for opening up about that. I also commend you for even getting the help and walking through it. Whether that's getting professional help or doing self-help healing on your own.
Right.
Because a lot of men, they don't want to go to therapy.
They think it's a weakness, and it's definitely not a weakness. I mean, we're so masculine when it comes to certain things.
Mm-hmm.
Mental health is important, and I tell anybody, I'm a witness to that. You know what I'm saying? I'm a witness to that. I suffered for it my whole life down there. You know what I'm saying? But over the years, I've gotten better. I've grew a lot more, and like I said, I'm still a work in progress. I'm not a
We all are. We all are. We all are, Kenny. Ain't nobody perfect. Ain't nobody perfect. So is there anything else on the podcast that ruffled your feathers a little bit besides the mommy issues that you want to, like I said, clear up or get off your chest?
She said what she had to say. I didn't think it was a bad interview. I think she said what she had to say. You know, she has a life. You know, she's a beautiful woman. She has so much to offer. You know, she shouldn't settle for these dudes that can't buy chicken wings and shit. You know, but hey, you know, that's the thing. She's straight. She's good.
Now, this may have been something that you already have done with Miss Anna, but just out of curiosity, if you had a chance to apologize or offer Miss Anna closure, what would you say to her?
I would tell her she's my best friend. You know, she, you know, I was down and out, 400 credit score. She rolled with
400?
My shit was 400.
I ain't never seen
Listen,
a 400.
my shit was 400.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? She didn't give me no money. She's like, look, I'm going to show you what to do, how to do it, and help me get to that point. So it's like, we grew together. Like, she showed me things, I showed her things. And one thing I want to tell her, you know, I should have handled her a little differently on the move or whatever. But she's been my rock. She's my best friend. You know what I'm saying? She's my best friend. She's always going to be my best friend. We're always going to have that bond, no matter who we decide to be with. You know, if her dude decide to run up, he's going to get done up. You know what I'm saying? We straight. I'm just telling you.
You about fighting, Kenny?
Listen.
You too cool in your outfit now. We don't want to mess it up.
Don't let this fool you. I'm a 70s baby. I don't play that shit.
Okay, I'm just saying, you too cool for school trying to run
I
up.
won't do that.
Mess up your suit and everything.
I ain't worried about that.
Okay. Well, I don't want you to be running up on nobody, okay? Because I ain't got no bond money.
Okay.
I can't get you out. I can get you out next week.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So, what have you learned about yourself since you moved? You got a divorce.
Jeez.
You've been with other women that you know that ain't your type.
That's true.
What have you learned about Kenny?
I'm stronger than I thought I was, and that's
Okay.
It's not physical.
Okay.
You know, to go to another state you ain't never been, and to accomplish the things I've accomplished without family, without your person, I can accomplish anything. I can do anything I want to do. You know what I'm saying?
I love it.
And it's a lot of world out here, and I'm not willing to ever think that I can't do something.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Well, I got one final question left.
Okay.
what advice would you give to other men going through something similar to what you went through with Miss Anna? What would you say to these men?
I would tell any man, communication is the key. You gotta have a communicate. You gotta communicate, no matter what. If it's gonna hurt this person, if it's gonna make this person smile, you always gotta keep that line of communication. Keep that friendship. If you decide to purchase a house or move out of town, you gotta have a conversation. You have to have a plan. You have to have a plan to see if that person's on board. Like, if you come up with a decent plan and you know it's a decent plan, that person decides, no, that's not for me, then at least you brought it up. But to just up and leave with weeks in advance, a week in advance or 2 weeks in advance, that's not good. That's not good. Communicate. Men communicate with each other.
Okay. Well, Kenny, I want to thank you for rolling up on the garden and speaking your truth. I also want to thank everybody for listening today. This, like I said, was an exclusive episode, so I'm super excited about posting it. And remember that healing comes in layers, and that sometimes you got to get the other half of the story to understand that there is still cracks where light can still come in. Once again, this is The Husband, The Hurt, and The Healing, and I'm your host, Exzneair Williams, and until next time.